in Americas at the very least.
Yeah.
And it is interesting looking at a game like this because you're 3 years on from the peak of that Loud Optic rivalry, but it's two very, very different rosters. And in some sense, is it a bit too harsh to say shadows of that former rivalry? Because neither of these teams look like they're in world beater form,
no,
but both hoping that they can get there and make a surge into champs.
Yeah, I'd hard agree with that. I think one of their groups that they're in, the Group Omega that is definitely one of the most competitive groups in terms of parity between all the teams in there. I mean, 100 Thieves, I think, after that win just then.
They look a bit head and shoulders right now.
They're separating themselves, but for Loud and NRG, they're sitting near, well, not near the bottom, I suppose. Loud already have a win under their belts. NRG are looking for one to try and drag it even, but the point I'm trying to get to here is that every single win matters at this point. It's hyper competitive between all the teams. You don't really know which way it's going to land, who are the bottom two teams going to be, who end up missing playoffs in this group. Super competitive, and for the maps that we see here, it's new territory, really. Haven and Corrode, we haven't seen either of these teams in their current iterations play this map.
Yeah, NRG getting rid of Sunset early on as well, which was a map that they struggled with heavily against 100 Thieves. I think Haven is a great place to begin when you have two IGLs that we are still getting a read on. Robbie, obviously calling for Loud, is in, I would say, a more difficult spot than Ethan. He's having to call in English with a team that's often communicating in Portuguese.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a serious test for Robbie. But also the attack side, which NRG is starting on, has been the struggle for Ethan's calling. Their defensive setups always look so clean, but you were reminding me that that was also the case in 2024 with NRG. It was,
yeah, last year. I mean, I don't have the stats on hand, but I know in their last game it was only a 21% win rate on the attack side for NRG.
Right.
And yeah, that kind of slow calling, not necessarily that slow is the problem for NRG, and with Ethan's style of calling on the attack side, you can definitely make slow work, but it's about jumping on the opportunities when they are presented.
Yeah, and also just making sure that the defenders are properly pushed back and unable to immediately clear question marks around the map.
Yeah.
Now, looking at the comps, though, NRG, I wasn't sure what direction they were going to go in. I'm glad they're not playing the Silver Breach, but I do think that the Silver Breach coming out from Loud, I've just got questions about Breach being played at the moment. The win rate of Breach in general is in the floor, and I think the only map where I'm super happy about teams running it is Sunset, and even there I wouldn't say that it's like the meta composition. But if we're focused on the positives, I do like what NRG are going for here. I mean, it's a composition that we've seen being run by a number of different squads. I tend to think of like Gen G, for example.
Sure.
And I think it should offer huge opportunities for Mada and Som to come online in the attack side and offer options for Ethan's calling. Because Som's lurks on Viper are kind of how you open the map on Haven attack side.
Yeah.
And Mada, I'm expecting much better performances from him than we saw last week, because he's like always at the top of the scoreboard for this team, except last week against 100 Thieves. For some reason, Mada and Som just couldn't get online. I suspect that that is not going to continue.
Yeah, you'd have to think. Mada, especially the caliber player that he is, hopefully just a blip on the radar. But we're getting started here into our pistol rounds between Loud and NRG. NRG definitely looking to shake off the woes of the prior week and hopefully get a win here against this Loud team who have, against all odds, managed to put it together. We're seeing an early take. Bit of aggression.
They're looking to
no
fight.
utility. Yeah, it's just contacting up straight forwards. Mada glides straight past and takes Verti's head clean off.
Pancada was ready to throw Paranoia from B, but it was off the contact of Verti. And they've gone 1-on-1. Now Loud, I like this reaction down mid, making sure to clear Garage, clear down front B, and NRG are going back to clear it themselves.
Yeah, walking around all the way, and there's going to be a fight in the brawl, bloodbath potentially at the bottom section of mid. And it's about how you take it and how the dice fall. A bit of an exit there from Luke Show. He's able to at least escape, and Kawazin plugging up the gap towards mid. Mada spots him out, glides to the side, trying to take the fight, but that's a spike drop down, and now left down to just Scuba in a 1v2.
Mada going for that one without Scuba's backup. Scuba just holding for a potential Garage push. And look at the health. It doesn't look good. Kawazin and Luke should be able to dial this one up, and they drop back into the safest positioning you could possibly find. In spawn, watching the Garage lurk, allowing Scuba to get the spike and head wherever he wants, frankly. I guess C would be the worst of the three options with the Cypher utility still there. But Scuba's almost certainly going to be able to get a plant down, and then it's about how tight Kawazin and Luke play together.
You got to think with the health disadvantage, Scuba, it's going to be very difficult for him. Like you said, open access to the site, a free plant will be his. As long as Loud played this tight together, Kawazine and Luke showed themselves shoulder to shoulder. Leaves no room for mistakes, but it's got to be clean from the get-go. Kawazine just snaps to the side, and all that damage done prior that we were discussing. Easy cleanup.
So interesting, if we're going to focus on the calling early on here, that they go for that A kind of leaning default. All right, fair enough. They run into Loud. Ethan calls not to accelerate into A in the 4v4, which I think is a good call. He decides instead to go back and clear a reaction push in mid. I don't think there's anything wrong with Ethan's call in that situation, but the actual brawl didn't quite go in their favor. You know, it ended up being a 2v2 with Scuba quite weak. And then Mada, I think there's better ways of playing the Mada fight against Kawazine in B. But I don't have too many qualms about how Ethan called that pistol.
Out of the ones though. Gonna be up by 1, and the money flowing nicely here. Not looking too good for NRG, but they're just going to be seeing if they can poke and prod, find out where the defensive setup is. Looks like there's a lot of pings across the map. Over towards C. Maybe even get a cheeky plant if they can. Paranoia. Glides partially there. It's going to be lining up Mada. Offloading that stun just to prevent any pushback again and just trying to catch one of the players' backs, but Luke Shaw left to anchor now, and he can hear it scurrying with the footsteps. It's an onslaught about to be approaching his side. A backup is there in time, arriving just in time, and that's Loud. Flawless on round 2.
Very clean. That'll allow Loud to go for something on this bonus round. Try to apply a little bit of pressure. I keep thinking back, actually, it was great if anybody missed it during the break between the matches. We had Asuna and EU on the couch, and they were talking about one of the reads that they have on NRG. And they said, NRG love to play together. They love to be grouped on their attack side. So what we saw from 100 Thieves versus NRG last week is if you peek them and you see that they are not where you're expecting them to be, you know it's a bit of a fake. We'll see if Loud have a similar read, but they are fighting A lobby again.
They want to draw some blood and they want to do it now with that aftershock into the corner. Man, not really expecting that, and stunned and slow to a crawl. He's going to be down and out. That's a good ping though, and a good reveal onto multitudes of players. NRG, they battle back.
Ended up turning that one remarkably well in A lobby. On the other side of the map, Scuba had actually found a kill in C as well. So they had the option to rotate out of A lobby there and go and meet up with their Killjoy, who had opened up that lurk angle into C. So I like the fact that Scuba accelerated the fight on the flank. But also NRG just simply turning the team fight after a bad beginning. Rourke's Recon getting big value. And Loud may be overstepping themselves slightly.
Was it 5? Wait, what? How many were there?
Yeah, they fought it with 4 players, a full 4-player crunch. Nice bonus round idea, though, from Loud.
I think I can to try and push this one back. Bullets whizzing past Mada's head. Going to be making sure to just get the hell out of there. Slow work on the map from NRG, just trying to apply pressure.
Yeah, pushing back people over towards C, making sure that Luxio doesn't have a deep cam. They didn't break the cam, or a trip, actually, because the trip's a garage and B, but there goes one of them. So, Ethan's calling here, designed to just eliminate a little bit of information over towards C, make it dangerous for you to peek, and then use the drone to reclear in case Verti is pushed up aggressive in A lobby.
Reclear and walk up. That drone expended. Loud are reinforcing. Kawazine's trying to get a piece of the action, almost getting a bit of a read now that it's going to be heading over towards that direction. Heavy presence from Loud here. Ready to receive. Walking up though, NRG going to have a lot of util in their back pockets. There's a stun held for that rainy day, which is now. Darts exchange along with that Paranoia, but from the high ground, Verti not pushed back, and now just raining down lead. NRG going to try and batter down the doors if they can to get into this side, but not expecting it as that curtain drops down. Luke Shaw takes him unaware, and Scuba, lone survivor of an absolute massacre that's taken place, and there is no exit. Bankada's on your flank. Gonna have to scurry and hide away. See if you can save that gun. Player is gonna be revealed here. Scuba just trying to hold on to it as much as he possibly can now, but
not keeping this.
Yeah, he's blind as anything, and that timer ticking down will not save you.
So this is a really classic example of what NRG have been struggling with. They put pressure on the C side of the map, but by the time they group up again and get ready to hit A, Loud have already... It's not necessarily that they fully cleared the question marks and gotten information, but they've just they know that if it was going to be a C hit, NRG would have already done it by then.
Yeah.
So just the timing and the lack of pressure consistently on C, that massive gap of noise cutting, people are reading into it that NRG are grouping and rotating instead of re-hitting. A good call from Loud to keep 3 players on the A side. And another round here where NRG start over towards C, steal the orb, make sure again that Luxio doesn't have a deep cam, but the cam that he's got is going to see all the way down C long.
Yeah. Spotting a lot of Pancada against an eco round. He's going walkabouts here. Walkabouts, and he has found a head for his troubles.
Don't know that they needed to do that, but he got away with it anyway.
Trip broken, forcing a bit of a reaction there from Loud at the paranoia forwards, but eco rounds like this, prime time for NRG to take some risks. See if they can lurk into some forward positions. It's a stun and a reclear. Pancada just taking a swing off of it.
Ethan's trying to use the smokes. Hello.
Yeah,
actually,
it is.
Nice one.
That's what we were talking about. Som has found the opening, but there's not going to be any smokes onto the side. That's a Hunter's Fury going to be offloaded to push them back from the plant. Luxio taking that as his timing to go forwards and move past it. He just followed the tracers. Was it a disadvantage the whole time, yet NRG is still doing it. We've filled up the feed now, and 2 are surviving. Som even offloading that pit.
He's 5 HP though. Any level of spam, a shock dart, and he'll go down and it'll make it much easier to play the 1v1 for Robbie.
Dart's going to be sent flying forwards there, just to clear some section, but Robbie's going to have a hell of a task ahead of him here. Scuba even playing entirely offside and away.
They should be able to communicate to Robbie that Som is this level of HP.
They've been tracking the damage. Shot down forwards. Oh my, it's narrow margins, and Som is the first to strike. It's a thrifty win, and it was Som who cracked it open as well. Opening kill that he got out towards the B site.
Yeah, he has to be the player on this map for NRG, in my opinion. This map, when you're running a comp like this, revolves so much around how much your Viper can get done on those lurks. Normally, the lurks are going to be coming through over towards A, and you want to be playing away from your team. Here, Som finds an entry into B and calls for his team to join him. 3 great shots.
Yeah, it's a monstrous round from Som.
Sam.
Sorely needed from the prior week, honestly, because we're not really used to seeing Som and Mada players near the bottom of the scoreboard for their team.
No, it was strange. Yeah. It was strange. I mean, part of it was how much they were just getting red, and part of it might just be a gap, maybe, in terms of level, because 100 Thieves did look great today as well. That has knocked the economy down for Loud. They don't have much to work with here. And a creep up towards B.
Fully walking. Stun forwards, double dive in and through, but that stun is going to be a little bit late to the party. Ethan is going to be slowed down. Going for the plant now. Hamilton has that aftershock waiting, but Ethan, timing is correct. He's going to be taking a little bit of chip damage, but he's out wide in the open. No one covering that extremity. Verdi happy to pluck him out of the picture. Mada's going to cement himself out towards the back, though, and without the weaponry, it's going to be hard going for Loud. Might have got that opening pick, and Scuba getting cheeky with even committing ults, feeling
that's
that pressure. It's a large commitment, and there's no breaking that one. Loud have got no choice really to run forwards. You want to save the gun, Verdi, take the fight to them. But nevertheless, it is a round secured up for NRG.
Yeah, I mean, any round is a round at the end of the day, isn't it? But Scuba, I think, probably could have saved the ultimate there, and they would have been fine. They had a player advantage. They had the plant down. They're playing on an anti-eco. Would have liked to see Scuba have a bit more confidence, a bit more faith in his team to convert that. Might be the kind of thing where when he's had a few more reps in the tier 1 level, he feels a bit more confident in his team. Converting those kind of situations.
Yeah, certainly.
Cowanzine, one away from a breach ult retake kind of setup. Loud, looking like they want to take control down mid. Now the spike is on Ethan.
All the way in. Yeah, Ethan's got this one. He's already found himself a spot in through hell. The rest of his team needs to follow up, clear this all the way. But there was no pushback, no players onto it. But Cowanzine's already found it onto Mada. Whole team working his way around. And Scuba spotted that one. Potentially heard it, got a sniff of it at least. He's cleared up Pancada away from that mid angle.
Breach ult.
Be playing.
Breach ult through.
There's the Hunter's Fury as well. It's going to be supplemented, trying to push them back. What a shot by Som. This is lights out from him.
Poison's off.
There was plenty of ults expended just to support his position, but the mechanical ability you can't deny.
No, completely took over there in the post line, didn't he? Really nice ultimate from Brock, like you were pointing out, just to make sure that Loud couldn't follow up on Kawanzin's ult. I like the pace shift as well from NRG. That was a much, much faster round. And maybe even getting a read that Loud were going to play some kind of retake A setup. One away from the breach ult, and Loud themselves did start with 3 walking down mid, kind of anticipating that they wanted to go for some kind of flank retake idea, but never materialized with Pancada dropping. It's a nice round.
VCT just trying to take advantage, I think, of everything going on, take a timing against it, but Som pushing them back on top of the scoreboard.
Pancada tried to walk down mid. The Redeem man's bottom mid, little did he know.
Now, I might need a dictionary for that.
Yeah. You're getting lost with that one. Scuba, though, has actually found kills in 2 of these rounds. Now, they haven't been the most important kills as it's played out, but it's pretty big overall that Scuba is feeling confident enough to, in that big A lobby fight round, go and take a fight over towards C long. He got a kill there. And then in this round, go and do a pretty active lurk across B and catch Pancada too. Because in rounds where NRG fail to execute on A, he's going to be giving them options to pivot back to. And I think that's something that he wasn't quite able to succeed on in the game against 100 Thieves. He was often playing quite passively on the lurk, picking up the Viper, for example, on Bind. And here, you've kind of got like a double lurk ability with Scuba and Som. Now, most teams are going to be playing it with the Viper more heavily lurking over towards A than NRG are at the moment. But it is working out either way. And this round, Pancada is certainly going to be tested again. Only a Sheriff to his name. 2 other players with rifles, but not on the C site.
Yeah, not nearby.
Go, go, go.
Holding back the util too, NRG. Not choosing to send it just yet, looking for a response and an answer now back. That's all in your face, near sighted, stunned up. Gonna be slowing down most of the approach here, but the overdrive's popped off, and these players are just trying to make a go of it. Paving the way to victory, potentially there, but NRG got it all under control.
Mada looked like he wanted to dip back into the smoke. I'm not sure whether he was thinking about cancelling that hit, but the rest of the team stayed strong and swung through afterwards, using him as the distraction to get through the choke point. And these 2 players that had the rifles, well, they're just going to be looking to try to save.
Yeah,
there's nothing that Loud can do here.
Not nearby the action when it kicked off, but so far, seeing the pace being increased by NRG, I'm liking it.
Yeah, I think it's always good to have range, right? You don't always want to be the fast-paced team. You don't always want to be the slow team. But what's good is that you can mess with your opponents and work on some conditioning. If they think you're just going to be slow defaulting C, picking up the orb and leaving every round, they're not going to stack it with bodies. Now, this round, they actually did, but they had light weaponry to work with. But in theory, that's the kind of idea underpinning what NRG are going for. It should be quite difficult to read whether they are doing a slow default, whether they're actually going to hit into you. But I wouldn't like to see them run fast pops every single round. I still want to see some of that working the map.
A little bit too predictable.
It can get
for that, but I mean, they called for a bit of a pause. They just threw up the wall, waited a bit, sent the
One guy
recon
speaks
on after.
only English, one guy speaks only Portuguese, and the other guy's Spanish playing C. Actually, no one's breaking dart, bro. No.
Yeah, I mean, just, okay. Dissected the problems of Loud.
Now, VCT does actually speak pretty much fluent Portuguese, so he's slightly misdiagnosed the problem there, I think. But it's a good point. I mean, Loud, we were expecting them to have some serious comms problems. That round, though, it's an eco. I don't think you can look too heavily into it. And to be honest, Loud have outperformed my expectations already from week 1, but certainly something to keep in mind because this is their map pick as well. Do they think, NRG here, that trip did get broken on C?
Maybe, potentially. Or just that it never got placed in the first place?
Yeah.
But Loud are going re-exploring.
This walk down has found Pancada value before.
He's got a lot of teammates at his back.
Now, Robbie is getting pretty confident here. He's playing alone on A. They've got the read that it's fake pressure on A. But this is one of the few rounds where Ethan is actually lurking away from the team.
And Trip's not going to be seeing much. Hold on, he's seen a gun. Lucio sees it. Sends it up at least. Oh, just being counter-spammed. Trying to set down that raw fire, but punished at a moment's notice. And now you're seeing Pancata. Hold on, he's going to be hearing most of this, surely. Yep, here's it. Knives out. He's going to try and take that timing past them. Over towards A now, and he's made the call for the rest of his team now, even catching a kill. A bullet to the temple. Scuba is dropped, and a TP to instantly get in and reinforce. Paranoia, it sweeps Verdi's in and through and out, and that's a spike drop down onto the floor. These players are left scrambling. NRG looking for a little bit more now, and they finally combine their might. It was looking rough for a second there, but that firepower perseveres.
Yeah, the team fighting has actually been impressive from NRG in a couple of these rounds. This is another example of a situation where Loud actually have the read. Now, their players are coming back through. It's not like they have 3 players in great defensive positions. They're running through the choke point, but they knew where NRG was going, and NRG still scrapped it out. And that is what you want to see from them. The player quality on this roster is really, really high on the NRG side. Actually, it is on both sides, to be fair, but for NRG, you look at the roster on paper and they've had a big firepower upgrade. Luke shows Cam dealt with this time. And this recon dart has been a bit of an issue. This time Luke Show steps in front of it, steps to default, ready to try to fight Mada. And a shock dart did not break the trip again.
Yeah, something's gone wrong there for Brock. Didn't really matter in the prior round, but might do so now. It's a very deep hold over towards A as well from Loud. They've ingrained themselves towards A lobby. Does leave B a little bit weaker.
And Som is just saving fuel for this B hit.
Calzine, flash into your face. Trip's going to be broken. Sending the flash forward, but he is the solo player essentially here. Ethan, no pushback there from the plant, but the bullets, okay, they find their mark.
He's a human sacrifice on these B hits.
It's a plant down though, and alongside it, a pit. Som's going to be blanking at most of these site matter. Oh my god, he's getting cheeky. Hopping up onto the box. Calzine, a bit of a stalemate, drawn into the sound wide as skirmish occurs onto the flank, but NRG are winning it again and more. Every single option just going wrong right now for Loud. NRG in complete control, maintaining that composure. There's no chance really here for Luke Show. Not with the pit in your face, not with the time ticking like it is. And Som's going hunting, running after him, shorty in hand.
Down to
Stuck
50
now,
health.
though.
Yeah, well, I don't think Luke Show, is he going to be able to escape from this? Yeah, Luke Show gets away, Som does not. But the bank is thriving for Som. So, you know, NRG are not going to be worried about it. In theory, this breach comp should be good at defending B hits. That's one of the things it excels at with the Aftershock. And Ethan is 1 and 8, but he's actually getting the spike down and allowing the rest of his team to play a post plan. So I don't think you can be mad about it.
No.
He's getting in there.
I have no bullets in both my guns.
And I think actually Loud need to make an adjustment because Cowanzine's utility is frequently happening behind the first NRG player. They'll have another chance here to fight.
Yep. Yeah, and well, bodies are just dropping, falling. Half armor, you are no more. I mean, Loud try and square up as much as they can, but yeah, not holding a candle to the way that NRG are playing right now, especially with that Owl Law.
Well, this was a force round as well. Round 11, they decided to really invest everything that they had Loud, but it was light armor picked apart instantly.
There's been no timeout. Am I misremembering?
We have had one.
Drop the spike.
Now, I also might be misremembering.
No, that's
but
Ethan's gun on the floor.
he's done a Jogamo,
He
hasn't
has done a Jogamo. It's okay, though.
Yeah, he didn't watch my hot tip from a couple of days ago. Or yesterday, whenever that was. Loud are getting kind of pasted here. The big fights that they've had over A lobby, I like the idea of them early on. Trying to really condition that NRG wouldn't be able to put bodies in that space without taking a team fight.
Sure.
Problem is, NRG have actually just been winning the team fights. And here, a little bit unfair. I mean, the Outlaw makes this one a done deal right from the off. But I must say, this half so far is adding to my breach stocks going down narrative.
Yeah, it's not great.
It just doesn't really look like it's difficult for NRG to navigate.
Show, he'd love to hold on to this gun for the final round of this half. Feeling a bit of pressure. No one really wants to contest him for it, though. So, last chance here for Loud. One more round could make the difference here, but this has just been stellar from NRG.
It has. They've had a variety of pace. They've had Mada and Som going from bottom of the scoreboard last week to top of the scoreboard now. The calling has been, like I said, varied and has found weaknesses And also just the team fighting has been good. The way that they're spacing out
remaining.
and trading off each other has been
Oh
strong.
my god, he sucks.
And the vibes are up right now for this NRG team.
Hard to have bad vibes when you're 8-3
Yeah,
on
it
your
really
opponent's
is.
map pick.
Yeah. If there's bad vibes, there's something wrong with you.
This is fast from Scuba. Really aggressive timing.
Straight up mid. Might be contested though, and indeed he is. What a shot! To the dome through the wall. Verdi drops him, but this is pacey.
Yeah, this calls the acceleration on A.
And the Hunter's Fury is going to be offloaded here. Sent flying forward for that dart. Reveals quite a bit. Luke Show is able to at least capitalize, but Ethan with
though,
2. Yeah,
that's
it's 2
huge.
massive ones. Smoke's going to be fading away though. Dropping it down, Tom. Oh, the timing on that one. It's brutal. Leaves it to broken Ethan now. Left to their devices onto the site, separated to a degree, and Ethan being forced out forwards.
Ethan's also got an ult to reposition.
Thanks to plenty of these players. Heaven's going to be watched for though, but that drone, it tags him. Ethan could potentially get lit up here, and Luke Showy's head on a swivel. TP forwards and away. That's Pancada leading the charge, and Robbie at the back of his team. Able to at least get that 4th online here for Loud.
Yeah, Loud persevere in the end, making it somewhat doable with a pistol in the second, but their attack side would have to be incredibly good, especially considering that NRG have looked better on defense so far from the little that we've seen from this team. Take a look at the replay. Ethan getting 2 nice ones, but just not able to hold on in awkward positions here.
Enemy remaining.
Still, like you said, Josh, the damage potentially already done with how NRG have been looking.
Beautiful. 4 is all we fucking need, bro. Fuck these cringe ass mother.
Okay, listen, I got faith in Loud. They're acting like that. The energy's good.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Loud find themselves staring down a few rounds for now at the half of our opening map in this series, just by 4. But yeah, I mean,
Just by 4, but
Just by 4.
but they won pistol as well in the first half.
trying to be the
so
optimist.
They need double pistol here and to perform just simply quite a bit better in some of the rifle rounds to stand up on their map pick. Now, Loud are in a very difficult situation. They've retooled a lot of their roster, their comms, their language, imported an IGL from EMEA. But they actually looked pretty good last week, and it got a lot of us on the train.
Big mix of cultures occurring in Loud that they are still probably trying to navigate, because it was a close win over Leviathan. Another team that's made changes, but here, at least for NRG, they're looking good. Not really feeling the heat. A lot of pressure coming away down towards A-Long, just for the Uto now, and contacting most of the other way. And there's that response from NRG that they were potentially looking for, but the bullets are still being rattled from the pistols. NRG double up in through A short. Flash forwards, stun ricochets, aftershock in through the back. If anybody was there, they would be obliterated, but NRG are just anchoring. Cemented in their spots, aren't they? Scuba and Brock not to be removed.
I mean, this is all fake pressure to allow Luke Shaw and Robbie BK to go nuts on B.
Eventually find something.
But actually, they've kind of taken the A site.
Fishing for kills, fishing for them indeed. Scuba just trying to isolate, play safe towards it. That's a lot of damage done. Brock delivering death blow after death blow, and Matter Up through the gut of mid. Robbie VK might have just missed his timing. He's missed it indeed. Som, he's got his number here.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, Robbie's never escaping that. Running straight into Scuba's Sheriff. And it puts Pancada, the most experienced player on the whole of the Loud roster, in a pickle and a half.
Very disciplined from NRG.
30 seconds
Player positions on the minimap. Playing it safe.
Playing it very safe. I mean, in theory, maybe offering a couple of 1v1s, but Pancada would have to be pretty incredible to find them.
Well, might get his chance, but no, Mada is reserved. Hold on, he's found it. Maybe there was a chance with the snapback there, potentially, if he caught it onto Mada, but cleaned up, and NRG take that pistol, and with it, a lot of the hopes that Loud were looking for.
It's an interesting pistol round, actually, that Robbie's called there, or that the coaches have come up with, maybe I should say. They're doing a fake hit onto A, or rather like a really slow hit onto A, in the hopes that NRG will go for a walk down mid as a reaction, and they'll be able to catch them with Robbie and Luke Show. But NRG didn't go for that reaction. Instead, they just started rotating people through the B site and kept 2 anchors on A. And so Loud just didn't get what they were looking for. And that's going to happen sometimes. It's not a bad plan. It's just that your opponents didn't react the exact way you were expecting. Different Viper wall here, actually, on defense from Som. That's a strange one.
Cuts its way up here. All contact plays from Loud, though. NRG have already been dissecting the map early on, removing some of the orbs. Drone spotted, stun connects. Rock. Oh, he's under that pressure. Mada's not. And Mada is with him anyway. Shoulder to shoulder now inside that orb. Bullets rattled into your face. With the pistols in hand. One way's propped up and calling for the pause.
Yeah, well, if they cancel this, the most likely other avenue is back through Garage, and that's where Scuba's judge is.
Yeah.
So Robbie might not know it, but honestly, running into these 3 players on A is about as good as it's going to get.
Might be preferable. They're about to get their wish. Brock, steadfast for now. Holding the angle, has the support of the rest of his team. Mada and Som up and up a bit of a high-low, but waiting for that one. The stun's going to be back online, but it missed it. He's forwards and through and out. Oh my God, man! Cut him down in swaves and looking for that ace. Already got the 4-piece. Mada's trying to set him up for it. Som is the one to steal it.
Well, because they lost him. Kawanzine managed to timing them through the smoke. Tragedy. Mada was going in there trying to set up his boy, and it just doesn't work out. NRG having won the pistol and a very clean follow-up there. Even getting Hunter's Fury online for the bonus. It's looking dunzo for Loud on Haven.
Yeah.
30 seconds left.
Look again, though, at how Brock is in front of the fault line. So the breach utility is coming out, but the NRG players are not getting caught by it. And I feel like I've seen that so often in this map.
Oh, pick for Loud here.
Hunter's Fury, maybe?
Gotta get something going.
It looked like Brock was thinking about it.
Yeah, just a bit of a handshake. Mada, though, is going to be the winner. Holding a lot of forward space up towards A lobby.
And if Mada takes contact, this Sova ult is coming out.
Yeah, the Hunter's Fury is already primed. Brock is in the best position for it. Hearing that drone.
Oh, he could punish the drone, actually.
If he wanted to go for it, but I think contact to Mada is going to be good enough for them. We'll see the trigger happen momentarily here. Fight taken. That's a Hunter's Fury. Any more follow-up, though? It's a bait-and switch. Som is tucked into the corner here, and even some value found. Hunter's Fury is good. Paranoia forwards. What a shot by Verti. Brought it to that 3v3, but Loud need a few more kills where that came from.
They know that Brock is somewhere on A. They could see where the Hunter's Fury was coming from. A 3v3, they choose just to kind of reset. And Scuba was playing this position the whole of the previous round as well. Alarm bot giving information on B. It would be tough to retake a B hit here, from NRG's perspective.
Yeah, guns not the best for the job.
30 seconds left.
Unorthodox plan, so the Nanoswarm doesn't really deny it. Straight down the middle here. NRG going to be looking to group up here. Still, remember, it's a bonus round for them. Working with that weaker weaponry forwards with the drone, but it's going to be broken. Hold on, bodies are spotted out, and Luke Show is way out into the open. That TP forwards has cooked him. Looking at left, right, down and up. The recon is brilliant, sublime work overall. And Ethan, my God, man, he's breaking angles. They have no idea where this guy is just laying claim. Skipping and hopping across the site in the full setup for the 3-piece. The IGL is thriving right now.
Yeah, pretty nice from Ethan. I think he started this map 1-8, and now he's something like 6 and 10. I mean, maybe I've got the exact numbers wrong there, but either way, you get the point. He's on the resurgence. He's been picking up multi-kill after multi-kill in some of these rounds. So pretty impressive. Yeah, he is. He's 6 and 10. So, you know, massive resurgence from Ethan. And tell you what as well, the little piece that we heard from the players previously where they were like, these guys can't shoot a recon dart. These recons are getting crazy value from Brock. Look at this one. Lights up both the players and sets up Ethan perfectly. If they've broken that recon, Ethan's taking a real gamble swinging out of his smoke.
Boys.
Sick.
This guy just
And a timeout from Loud. Their final timeout. They used one kind of early on in the first half, and then we didn't hear from the coach for quite a while.
Yeah, this one might be too little too late, though. It's already 11-4.
Yeah.
Running back a lot of rounds in a row, and it is their map pick.
Yeah.
Loud wanted to get off to a strong start here against this NRG team.
We're not really seeing even the theory, I think, for Loud.
Yeah.
We're not seeing why they've picked Haven or what they thought was going to work really well here. You know, Luke Show's anchoring didn't delight. He's not really been able to activate on the lurks super heavily. Verti's had like a moment here or there, but nothing like the previous week. Feels like Loud's still yet to wake up, really. Slow beginning for them. Again, running a little bit of, in my opinion, an outdated composition. But you can't blame the comp when you're down 4-11 in a game that you should have a great chance of winning.
There's more things going wrong. All eyes on towards Garage for now. There hasn't really been much pressure applied by Loud in the few rounds that they have played on this half.
No, neither team was that interesting, Garage.
Now sending it forwards, though. Oh, I just missed the timing onto that one, but with the wall up in your face, it does make it awkward. A lot of unknowns. Som is tucked to the corner. Needs some help here. Ethan has got to try and at least break most of this one here, and Som still gets the one before there is that instantaneous trade. Now the Paranoia missed. Ethan is forwards, TPing up towards Platt. He's looking for a bit of help from the rest of his team. And Verdi! Oh, he's no more for the work. Brock just steps forwards and squares right up to them. NRG find that 12th. It's in the blink of an eye, and all the pieces are going wrong right now for Loud.
Yeah, I'm not happy with that hit from Loud. They get into a C-split situation where Ethan's a bit overwhelmed, doesn't have a great paranoia, doesn't have a sight smoke to play around either, and yet they still very comfortably clean up NRG. I mean, two really good shots at the end from Ethan, it must be said. But I think he was caught a little off guard in terms of his util timings, and still pretty simple stuff.
Could be the tipping point here. It's an all-in investment, as it really needs to be from Loud. Darts forwards. No need to break it. Everybody's in good cover.
A very early redrone from Brock. Feels like trying to get Scuba set up for a push, and he's punished instantly there. That's a weird one. You don't normally see people going for stuff like that on Haven.
NorFF gives the info, and there is a stun on the
No way!
There's no way!
You're not trying to get a nice kill.
There. He's trying to chop away at his heels!
Oh, no.
Scored us. Okay, well, Robbie's from the side there. Dagger into Som, but immediately cleaned up there by Ethan.
Oh, get us into Corrode.
Yeah, it's 2v2, and a bit of a punish, an attempt of it. Ethan, he's already backed himself out as a Paranoia of a beautiful connection. Ethan just trying to at least absorb most of this one. They're still trying to root this guy out of position.
Good movement.
10 bullets, backs himself out here. Find it down to Mata! It's filthy to finish.
Oh.
NRG were never, ever out of control of this map.
What a beautiful final round to showcase the way that we would expect Mada to play.
Yep.
And yet last week, that was what Verti was doing, and Mada wasn't really alive and well in the server. This week, man, NRG came out, I think, trying to prove everybody wrong. Like, that game against 100 Thieves was just a blip, guys.
Which I'm glad for, because...
Keep the faith.
Yeah, listen. If it was that downward spiral, they've definitely showed that that was not the case here.
No.
The opening map, man. I mean, they have just been absolutely lights out. Mada, Brock, Som, top of the scoreboard.
And we won't talk about what Verdi was up to in that final round either. He just,
I don't know what happened.
Well, he pulled out his knife instead of his gun, didn't he?
It's brutal.
Yeah, I mean, he probably had his knife out before he started sprinting, so it just auto-swaps back to the knife instead of his gun. Which, yeah, unlucky on that one. Overall, though,
God damn.
every single thing, I think,
30 seconds
was
left.
done better by NRG, really, in that map.
An outclass across the board for map number 1. We'll see if Loud can bounce back as we look towards Corrode, that second map. Potential wildcard, we'll see, but NRG are in top 4.